Okay, so you join me from the aftermath of my day 3 session, week 2 of my program. Aftermath is the right word, to be honest. Yesterday's session was very difficult. In actual fact, I had a little bit of a niggle in my lower back, strangely not on the deadlifts that I was doing, but from some of the ab variations. So I had to switch those up a little bit to carry on training. It wasn't so much of a niggle that it was going to stop me completely, but I did need to alter things just to take the load off, as there was some other back exercises which were, quite demanding. Anyway, another thing, the conditioning was hard work yesterday. It was another top of every minute style workout, and it was very difficult to keep up with the clock, so much so that I only got 2 minutes in before I started running behind. So I did my best to keep going and actually just did the prescribed reps and exercises as well as I could for 12 minutes instead of completing everything in 10, just to get the work done. But I wasn't able to get anywhere near the clock, so that's a good focus for me. It was nice to have an extra day off training from Wednesday morning and then Thursday evening, just to get that extra bit of rest in, to be honest. Obviously still being at work and things, so not total rest, but not quite so intensive in the gym. And tweaking that session last night also helped my recovery time as well. Not quite as brutal as it possibly could have been. It's felt quite well today, as I've got a day off from work, which gives me yet more recovery. It's an important commodity, isn't it, time? And it's not just making the time for the gym and the training, but it's the time for your recovery as well. That's probably even more important, I'd say. If you can't recover properly, then you're not going to be building the muscle, and the training isn't going to be as effective, and you're also risking injury from not being at 100% and still trying to go in, and then it's going to have that detrimental effect, pushing yourself to the limits all the time, and you're going to end up stalling. So today, having a day off is pretty good for me. I am training tonight, which will be my 5th session this week, Monday to Friday. I wasn't 100% sure I'd be able to do it, but it should be okay. I mean, I've got this little niggle in my back, but it's mainly chest focused this evening. There's some chest supported rows and bench press, and there's some other sort of dumbbell unilateral work and things, so it shouldn't be quite as taxing on some other areas. And I also know I'm going to get the weekend off, so I can go a little bit harder tonight. Not as I ever really let myself have an easy session, but I know I can go all out as far as I need to. All out. I think I am getting stronger already from the sort of focus that I'm having on my workouts. I mean, the conditioning portion yesterday was pull-ups, burpees, push-ups and mountain climbers, and I was able to rattle my pull-ups out quite well, which I never used to be able to do. I mean, if I did 5 pull-ups totally fresh, that was a big deal. But yesterday I was able to do those. But push-ups, yeah, I'm still getting them done, but they're not my friend at all. Yeah, hate push-ups, hate those with a passion now. So obviously loads of them to do later. Another thing at the moment, it's not just my muscles and things that are beat up, but my hands are starting to take a bit of a pasting. I've got a manual job anyway, so I've always had like calluses on my hands, but they're starting to get pretty torn up as well. I suppose when I was doing my 5-3-1 split, my my deadlift day was the only day that was really battering my hands, and even then, you know, 3 heavy work sets and then some volume work, I could cope with that. But now that I'm doing a lot of pull-ups or like hanging exercises, as well as things like kettlebell snatches even, and on top of deadlifts and, you know, goodness knows what else, my hands are really taking a pasting. 5 sessions a week as well, they're not getting much of a break, and still being at work. So I am making good use of the Lush Ultra Balm, which I mentioned in a previous video, which I'm going to put up here, hopefully, if I can work out how to do that. But yeah, that's a godsend, to be honest. I put it up on my Instagram this morning. It's been fantastic. Just taking the soreness away more than anything else. This might be slightly less common for a powerlifter or a weightlifter or bodybuilder or whatever to go into Lush and be like, oh yeah, what can I do for my ankle? Yeah, I've got these calluses that are getting really torn up. But I will say it's excellent stuff. So it's well worth trying. But I do like videotaping a lot of videotaping. What year is this? I do like recording a lot of my sets just to see what I'm doing. It's also nice as well to have a sort of a record of them. I do write down everything that I do, reps and sets wise. I will occasionally annotate those as well with how I was feeling on the day. There's sometimes, you know, if I looked at 2 sessions and they look very similar, I think, well, you know, they're the same, but one day might have felt like I was hardly moving any weight, and the other times, you know, it was an empty bar and it felt like I got a huge weight on my shoulders. So I do like to make a note of those as well. It's also nice scrolling back through things like my Instagram now and again and seeing like, oh yeah, you know, that was say 6 months ago and I was doing this and I'm like pleased with that. And at the time I was, say, chuffed to bits with the way I was moving, and then it's nice just to scroll back, you know, a few pages and see, oh well, that I was doing that weight for a single and then I was doing that weight for a triple, and that was just part of my training, not like a 1 rep max or a 3 rep max test. So it's always good to get that sort of that view of how far you've come. It's not always easy to analyse yourself like that, because you have good days and bad days. But it's nice to know that if you keep up with that consistency and you can go back and see it for yourself, it's not just, oh, I felt okay with RPE. It's, you know, you've got that actual visual thing. I mean, sometimes you video yourself and you see what you've done and you're like, oh, that looked a lot better than it felt, which is another positive you can draw, isn't it? So yeah, hopefully be on the case a little bit more with my videoing, get back typing a lot more and watching it back and knowing where I am, sort of thing. I'm not 100% whether I'll be able to put another video out until Monday, as I'm away this weekend in Wales. I'm actually going zip lining, which I'm really looking forward to. There may be a video exclusively for that, but I haven't decided yet, so keep your eyes peeled. If you do want to catch up with anything like that, or other things that I've got going on, make sure to subscribe below, and you can keep up to date with what I've got going on. It might also pay, if this is the first video you've watched, to go back and watch some of the earlier ones just to see how I got here and what's going on. It might give you a better idea of what I'm all about. But until the next video, I'll see you. Big strong. Take it easy.